Tyler Johnson versus Amadalen Bailey.
Ready, Your Honor. Dawn Van Dusen, P69647 on behalf of plaintiff.
Judge Dominic Camden, P67745, appearing on behalf of the defendant, Amadalen Bailey. Judge, my client is also in the Zoom room.
Oh, there she is. All right, where are we on this case, folks?
Your Honor, this is a matter that it's regarding a trailer park, a mobile home in that park. My client, which is Kyler Johnson, owns the trailer in the park. Miss Bailey is his ex-girlfriend who is occupying it at this time. They did do a purchase agreement at one point, but I think I don't know where they got their purchase agreement, but Mr. Johnson would like to, already told her that he was going to rescind it. He does not live there at this time, but he would like the occupancy to happen. He has a loan payment on this trailer each month that has never, it was agreed that she'd split half of it. She still hasn't made any of that. She failed to make payments October all the way to February on just that loan, which is her portion would be 500 of it. But with them not being together, it's a total of 1,000. The rent there on the lot.
Because they're not together, her payment went up.
Well, they agreed they would split it at one point, but she hasn't made any of it. So we're not even asking for a judgment in this matter. We just want, as in a money judgment, we'd just like Miss Bailey to move out of the home, out of the trailer. She's changed the utilities into his name, into her own name. She has, so he cannot even get access to make sure payments are made. So she's actually only made payments starting in January for the utilities. So we're asking at this time that eviction of a 10-day order be granted to order her out of the premises.
Mr. Hamden.
Judge, the parties are subject to a purchase agreement. I don't believe you can just unilaterally rescind an agreement. I don't believe the purchase agreement provides for that. And my client is still wishing and desiring to go forward with that purchase. Second of all, my client is on the written lease agreement with the park. And so she has the right to occupy this space as the landlord to the property. So this is probably better characterized, Judge, as some form of a replevin case, as opposed to an eviction in order to retain his property back. It's not properly characterized as an eviction. It's probably better characterized as some form of a replevin.
Well, but I don't, is the purchase agreement still in effect?
It did not have a termination date, Judge.
Your Honor, it also says the initial payment is non-refundable. It looks like she received this piece of purchase agreement, a copy of it, and that she filled it out, and it was part of the parks where if they were going to sell you one of their trailers, there was no down payment. There's no initial payment that it discusses is non-refundable unless the applicants are denied their credit and background check. Your Honor, this is not a normal purchase agreement, and it has no closing date, no nothing on it. My client has rescinded the 2 days after he signed it and said he does not want to sell it to her.
And again, my comment on that, Your Honor, would be that my client was prepared to close on it, had coordinated with a lender in order to do so, and he refused to go forward with the closing, and there is no provision in there which allows him to unilaterally rescind it. I think it's also worth noting, Judge, that the parties, and I'm sure Your Honor has put 1 and 2 together, at one point in time dated each other, and one of them was required to leave the premises because of a police report. And so what this appears to be is
oh dear God. Is that true?
Your Honor, the agreement
hold on a second. No, I just need a very clear answer because this court has a very clear policy on that. And I'm just going to say, because usually it's the male that's doing this. Is there a domestic violence complaint that was made?
Yes, Your Honor, it was made on October 23rd.
And he was then required to leave the premises?
Correct.
I am not.
And Your Honor, there's no charges pending against my client. In fact, the charges were dismissed by Miss Bailey 2 days later after she made the complaint.
How long were they living together?
That would be
One-
something that my client would have to answer, Your Honor.
Judge, the le-
Together 1 year.
Miss Bailey, how
We were-
long?
Living together 1 year.
All right.
Your Honor, I wanted to add something. I just wanted to say that the reason why of wanting to go back on the purchase agreement was because initially I had signed the purchase agreement, and the next day she was trying to falsely accuse me of and call the cops on me for stuff that wasn't done and just falsely accuse me. So that was
So
why
you
I
got
wanted to
mad
go.
and said, I'm rescinding the purchase agreement, blah, 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 blah. I hear it all. All right. So what do you guys want me to do? I am not issuing a judgment. Not today. And I'm assuming, Mr. Hampton, you want to file a written answer to this.
I do, Your Honor, and I think it would be helpful if the court actually saw the purchase agreement, as well as the lease
Well,
agreement.
somebody attach it, because if the
I'll-
purchase agreement's there, but there's also another signed document between the parties, correct?
There's a purchase agreement that was signed between the parties, Judge. The other agreement was signed with the park landlord, to which my client is a tenant, as well as Mr. Johnson. They are both tenants from the park landlord standpoint. I will attach both of those to my
So,
written answer.
that was gonna be my next question. So under what theory is the plaintiff terminating the tenancy?
Eviction, he owns the mobile home that she is living in at this time. He owns the mobile home. He actually has a mobile home mortgage that he has to pay every month. On top of that, then they rent the property the mobile home is on. So the only thing they have a lease for is the property that the mobile home is on with that park. So all he has to do, and which he has already started doing, and is he has to go in and get her off the lease, which means he just has to do.
If I went to a family court and deal with a divorce, that's not really a divorce, I would have done that. I don't know why I'm even dealing with this mess.
Because it's an eviction, Your Honor.
I don't know that it's a proper eviction because I've got a purchase agreement for property that one is saying I got mad and I just rescinded it after I signed it. The other party is saying, well, I'm sitting in here and he's gonna, I mean,
Yeah, the terms of this purchase agreement haven't even been fulfilled by her. She's already, at the beginning, she was supposed to give him initial payment, and that has never been done. So the terms of this purchase agreement are
yeah,
so
but your
vague.
client just said, that's not the reason why he wants to rescind it. He wants to rescind it because he got mad because she was saying things. He just
Your
said
Honor,
that to me.
Yeah, and she
The-
has not even made in good faith an attempt to go try to finance this trailer. I've not
my client had it financed, Your Honor, and was prepared to close. And I'm looking at the purchase agreement, and I could be wrong, and I
Here's the
don't
thing.
want to be
Well,
held out, Judge. There's
I don't
nothing
really
in here.
care.
I was gonna say,
I don't really care because if there's a purchase agreement, you're saying that she's not doing whatever. And okay, fine, but your client just told me that's not the reason why he rescinded. Counsel, I'm just gonna let you know, because if there was a domestic violence accusation, this court has been very consistent with its files. With a police report filed, whether it's carried through or not, the court is gonna be very reluctant to evict someone who may have been a victim of domestic violence.
I
And
understand.
I'm getting the sense that that's the reason why the purchase agreement didn't go forth. That's the reason why everything is now being couched as this eviction and this is my property.
But Your Honor, this could also be a reason how she gets him out of the home. She knows if she calls the police, makes false allegations, that he has to leave the premises. There's a reason it got dismissed 2 days later.
Well, you said she did it.
But she did. She went and, she made the allegations to get him out of the house. When he said, well, I'm not going to sell you this property anymore, then she says, I'm going to go dismiss the charges.
Mr. Hampton, how long do you need to answer?
Monday, Judge?
Pardon?
Monday. I'll get it going over the weekend. I actually had intended to get it going earlier this week, but
Well,
my judicial secretary called in sick, and Everything was fine. I had no problems whatsoever, but I didn't get it done. So,
All right. Defendant to file an answer by, well, I'm gonna give you a week to get an answer in. You're to file an answer by February 27th, 2026. And then I'll set this for an additional hearing. The way this is out, there's no reason for me to set this on a Friday. Give me a Tuesday that I can hear this.
The first Tuesday would be March 3rd.
March 3rd. I'll set this for, I'll call it a settlement conference. I don't know that that's gonna happen. March 3rd, 2026 at 9 a.m. All parties are required to be present in person, including attorneys.
Thank you. Your Honor.
Thank you.
thank you, Judge.
This wasn't a simple eviction. It was a breakup, a purchase agreement, domestic violence allegations, and a fight over who actually has the right to stay. The judge made one thing clear. When DV is even mentioned in court, eviction is not automatic. Now both sides are headed toward a settlement conference that could determine whether this becomes an eviction, a contract battle, or something even more complicated. If you want real courtroom drama explained clearly and accurately, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next.